Welcome back. Bernadette Kirkus is here with Escrow Options to give us an idea of what Escrow Options is and also to reach out to everyone out there who might be a real estate agent. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
So tell me what Escrow Options is.
So we are a full-service escrow company for real estate. We have been in business since 2005. We do everything from residential real estate to new property to land to mobile home, everything.
Okay. Okay. And when would someone need Escrow Options as an alternative?
Well, it's not an alternative, but you're going to need escrow once a property sells. So once a property is sold, a realtor will then take a fully executed purchase contract and then open escrow with an escrow company to be able to go through the escrow transaction, close it, and then disperse the funds as per the contract.
Okay. Now, I know you guys have some high security. I know we talked about that before. Tell me a little bit about some of the things that Escrow Options does differently than some other escrow companies. We
have a lot of exclusive services that we tie into our regular transaction services, which all escrow companies provide. What sets us apart, though, is that we have probably the highest standards of security because we have a cyber theft insurance policy. We are SSAE certified, which is the highest audit standard that you can have to make sure that the organization is completely protected from cyber theft and wire fraud. We also have, Alta best practices. We're an independent escrow company governed by the Department of Business Oversight, so we're not really an in-house escrow. We're not biased to a side.
Right.
And then in addition to that, we have a Laguna Woods concierge service. We're the only escrow company that offers that. And what that entails is we send a complimentary notary to the client, and that person is also an escrow person, so they can sit down with the sellers and go over all of the documentation with them page by page, explain it all to them, make them feel very comfortable with the transaction, and they'll go to them so they don't have to feel like they need to go to an office or anything like that.
Right.
Our people will meet them wherever they want to be met, bring back the documents to our escrow company, and then we'll process it from there. We'll also send somebody out for the buyer as well to help them with their financial package and walk them through that. A lot of these documents are, they're very detailed and they can be a little bit scary. So we want to make the sellers and the buyers as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, man, the paperwork seems excruciating sometimes, especially when you have to read the small print.
Yes.
So, all right, well, that's great. And then, we do have a lot of real estate agents in our community who are active. And what would you like to tell them about your services?
Well, we can highly protect their clients and their reputation with all of our safeguards that we have in place. So that's probably the number one thing. In addition to that, the Laguna Woods concierge service that's of no cost to their clients is always a great thing, because when you're dealing with Laguna Woods with all of this documentation and stuff, the one thing you really want to make sure is that the clients are extremely comfortable and that they have a great experience from the beginning of meeting the agent until they close their escrow transaction. And we want to make sure that that in-between period is as graceful as possible for them.
Right.
The other thing that we do as well is that we wire agent commissions free of charge. So when we close escrow, and funds are ready to be dispersed, instead of us having to issue a check and it has to be placed on hold for 10 days and that kind of thing, we'll wire it directly to the agent's accounts free of charge. That way they get it instantly, and that's been a pretty popular service of ours as well.
So you said free of charge, and then you mentioned something else that was complimentary. Are some of those things usually costly?
Yes. So usually the notary is costly, and that is part of our concierge service. So with the notary, anytime a notary goes out to a client, to a seller, or to a buyer, it's a $200 charge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sometimes even more. So it's complimentary where with us, we don't charge the seller at all to have somebody go out and complete their opening package and notarize their grant deed. And it could take anywhere between 15 minutes to 4 hours, but however long it needs to take to make sure that the customer is fully understanding the documents and is as comfortable as possible. We strive to make sure that that experience is there.
That's excellent. I mean, that is a savings nonetheless, so I think that's very helpful. And then what else would you like us to know about Escrow Options?
There's a lot about us that sets us apart from other companies. A lot of it has to do with the customer experience and the protection factor.
Right.
So, we're the only escrow company that's been trained by the FBI directly on cyber theft and cyber crime. So, that alone is a big deal, because that is just a huge thing that's happening in our industry right now. We're such a huge target because there's so much money involved in real estate.
Right.
But because of that, we're the only ones being trained by them. We have a direct line into their cyber facilities, a direct contact with their director there. So if anything happens, we can try and get things settled as quickly as possible, versus another escrow company that doesn't have those types of tools in place.
Right.
And with our concierge services and our protection services, and then just having a wonderful experience from beginning to end, I think it sets us apart from our competitors.
Excellent. And if someone wants to get a hold of you, I'm assuming you have a website.
Yes, we do.
Okay, and can you tell us what that website is?
Yes, it's www.escrowoptions.com.
Super
and then
easy.
all of our commercials that run in here in Laguna Woods do have our 800 number on them as well.
Excellent.
We are actually right around the corner. So we are on Irvine Center Drive, and at any time, anybody can just walk in there and meet with our Laguna Woods specialist, Debbie Barber. She has an extensive amount of experience and is wonderful, knows this community like the back of her hand.
Okay.
And she's more than willing to sit down and have any type of conversation with any of the realtors or the sellers or the buyers within this community.
Great. Well, thank you so much for the information.
You're
Always
welcome.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
All right.
Thank you.
And remember, if you need any information about what we've just discussed, or you have questions, you can always go to escrowoptions.com. Super easy. We'll be right back.